Hi, it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, February 15th.
And I'm Paul Torp.
I'm Beth Stevens.
We're at Broadway.com and we have like a really phenomenal,
we have
probably,
a fancy
like one
guest.
of the best A-list guests we've had
We
on
have an
Live at
A-lister,
Five.
that's right.
Total A-lister. Who's here?
Brian Stokes Mitchell.
Stokes.
Tony winner.
We
Stokes
love
is
him.
here.
Yeah, he has more exciting TV stuff. He's
doing so much.
He was also in
I can't believe he's here. I can't believe he stopped moving.
Our favorite show of last year.
Shuffle Along.
Yeah, I mean we
Shuffle Along.
Shuffle Along.
We love Shuffle Along.
R.I.P. Anyway, let's talk about news first. So Ella Rose Benanti Brown, welcome to the world. Laura gave birth yesterday at 3:33 on Valentine's Day.
That's got to be good luck, right?
The baby is beautiful and healthy, and we can't wait to meet her. Congratulations, Laura and Patrick. So exciting.
Ella Rose, if you want to be a guest on Live at 5, you're welcome anytime.
She's staying away from the media so far.
So far.
So this was big news. I don't think we were expecting to hear who would replace Josh Groban in
so early,
Natasha Pierre in the Great Comet of 1812.
Yes.
But now we know.
Yes, we do.
And his name, this is like one of the hardest Broadway star names to say right now. Oak. From Hamilton.
That's right.
How would you say Oak's name?
I don't want to butcher Oak's name.
You don't want to say it wrong?
5? No.
Oak,
I have practiced it before and gotten it correct. But
it's a very tricky name. Congratulations, Oak. You're starting July 3rd, so it's a little ways off.
Yeah.
After the Tonys and all that
That's
stuff.
exciting.
But yeah, it's very exciting. I'm excited to see him do that. We have an exclusive video on the site. So there's a new musical bandstand that you've been hearing about. Laura Osnes invited us last week. We went into the recording studio. So they did the show at Paper Mill Playhouse.
That's right.
And I loved it at Paper Mill Playhouse. And with Corey Cott as the leading man, and Laura and Corey and all the major leads are coming back. Beth Level's also in it.
That's right.
And but they're writing a lot of new songs. You know, it's interesting. There's a lot of shows coming to town that were done out of town that are changing a little bit.
Yeah, they tinker.
Like, you know, Warpaint, I know, is changing a little bit, and Bandstand's changing. So there's a bunch of new songs, and we went into the recording studio, and Laura and Richard Oberacker, who's the composer, who wrote the show with his partner, Robert Taylor, did a brand new song called Who I Was. It's gorgeous.
We get to see it.
It's a really pretty,
recorded.
it's kind of, apparently it's Laura's character's first song in the show, kind of like her introductory song, and it's war-torn America, and it's beautiful. So check that out. Kelly O'Hara, do you see that? I love that photo we have of her. You got to look on the site, the photos. She is returning to the Metropolitan Opera.
Yes.
Because she does it all, and she's fancy that way. She will be in Mozart's, how do you say this?
Così fan tutti.
Thank you.
I think.
She will be playing. It's set in Coney Island in the 50s.
It's not really. I don't think Mozart.
That's a choice. I think that's a choice. And she's playing Spunky Maid Despina.
You can tell it's the 50s because of the eyeliner. You can tell she's a maid because of the color. I'm just letting
Oh,
you know
I
when
didn't
you
even
look
know.
at that
She just looks
picture.
very glamorous in the photo.
For a maid in Coney Island
So
in the 50s.
this is very exciting. She was there before in The Merry Widow
That's
that
right.
Susan Stroman directed. But this is not until next March. So I'm sorry.
away.
If you're super excited, it's March 15th, 2018. So that just
Take your time, work yourself up to it, learn some Italian, perhaps. You've got some time.
So the Little Foxes what is the Little Foxes, Beth?
It's a play by Lillian Hellman.
Right?
Very
yeah. What's it
good.
about? It's about like scheming.
Scheming, yes.
I saw it with Dr. Channing. Is that right? Yes.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Lincoln Center. Yeah, I saw it with Dr. Channing. Now it's Laura Linney and Cynthia Nixon.
Which
and
we already knew that.
They're
And
swapping
they're swapping roles. That's right.
How often?
No, how often?
Mid-performance.
But I love them both. I can't. We'll have
Oh my
to go back more
God, they're
than once.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, now we learned all their co-stars. So we have Darren Goldstein, Richard Thomas, Michael McKean, a lot of great people. So it's a great cast. It'll be at the Friedman Theater starting March 29th. Danny Burstein, Ruthie Ann Miles, you like these people? I know you do. Laura Osnes, Paulo Zat.
Paula Jat.
Yeah. They're all joining the New York Pops Gala May 1st, honoring Bart Scher and Kelly O'Hara. Speaking of opera
Kelly's
star.
getting around, yeah.
Yeah. And Jace Robert Brown will also be there. That's what my note says.
Jason Robert Brown will also be there.
Mandy Gonzalez just had like a huge smash at 54 Below. Like
yes.
I think she's in Hamilton.
You might have not heard that.
She has a very large voice for that room. Lin-Manuel Miranda tweeted a great video, and you can look at that video on his Twitter, or you can look on our site. Check it out. In the Heights fans will love it.
It's a cut song from In the Heights, is that right?
Just check it out.
Oh, just check it out. I'm sorry.
Check it out. And Mandy looks gorgeous, and she'll be back on March 12th, but you can't get a ticket. Maybe you could stand out there.
Maybe someone will tweet out 30 seconds of it, and you can enjoy that.
Howard's End. Remember Howard's End?
I do. Ian Forster novel.
Right. It's a fancy British thing. They're making a new TV version of it. Kenneth Lonergan, who is not British or usually that fancy. I mean, he's
now he's like an Oscar nominee. Again.
Yeah, Manchester by the Sea, very working class. But
But he's a wonderful playwright, and This Is Our Youth was on Broadway.
Yes, but why are all of the working class movies about working class people? Why are they always Boston working class people? I think people just love those accents, right?
The accent. Yeah, that's right.
Well, anyway, they're doing a new version of Howard's End. He wrote it. They're filming it in London. It's for Stars and BBC. So
that's awesome.
Kelly O'Hara is not in that.
So far.
Yet.
So far.
We also have a photo of School of Rock, 500 performances. Congratulations. There were cupcakes for the kids. Annalee Ashford talked about breast pumps on Seth Meyers, as you do.
She also did her Judy Garland puppet thing for Seth Meyers, which she also did for you.
Wait a minute. I didn't watch.
I'm going to say the Seth Meyers staff watched Show People.
Is she auditioning bits on Show People?
For national television, that's correct, yes.
Glad I can help. Glad I can help. And there's a new episode of the Broadway.com show if you want to watch Beth and I on video more. But anyway, I got to get out of here because
I'm sure what you do
I'm so not as fancy as this guy in the other chair. So let's introduce him.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Stokes Mitchell.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's huge applause.
Is that the best intro you've ever received,
It is.
Stokes?
I love it. I love it. Canned applause. There's nothing like it. Thanks, Paul.
Hello,
so what do I look?
Is it this little thing is the camera.
I feel like I'm looking at a microphone.
These are the people.
This is crazy.
Legend. First comment. Legend. Yes. Yeah. Yes, he is. Also, one of the most dapper gentlemen on Broadway.
You're very kind.
He's like the James Bond of Broadway.
James Bond.
Yeah. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's the right way. You're
that's the Sean Connery way.
Yeah, I knew what you were doing.
There's like been 5 other. Thank you. I'm glad you do. Thank you very much.
So how are you doing?
James Bond. I'm good. I'm excellent. How are you doing?
I'm so glad you're here at Broadway.com and not forgetting us because you're now fancy TV all the time.
I love Broadway.com. You guys cover a lot of things that I do and cover so much of Broadway. And
we've been doing it forever.
I know you have, and I love you for that.
We love you.
Keep doing that.
All right, so we're going to talk about all of the fancy things you're doing, which first of all, you're on Blacklist.
I'm on Blacklist, yes.
This week?
I have 2 weeks, actually. I have
cool.
two episodes that I'm doing. The first one, I play a gentleman named David Levine, who is Red's banker. And
so Blacklist, of course, it's on CBS, isn't it?
It is on NBC.
I'm sorry, NBC with Jim
This is
Spader.
4th season for the show, and it's a really incredible show. Comes on, I think, 10 p.m. Eastern time. So
what
there'll
is
be one
David
episode.
Levine like?
David Levine is kind of a priggish kind of guy, and he likes fine art. He's very wealthy because he has a lot of clients kind of like Red.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. So it is. It's a fun role, and I had a great time. The scenes that I did were with David Spader, who is just James Spader, who is just a brilliant actor, and he's one of the executive producers on the show. So he comes in and he sees everything and he understands it. I don't know how he does it.
He must own the room.
He kind of does. But somebody said it told me that they think he has a photographic memory, and I would think so. Just the way that he handles everything, it really is incredible to see him work. And he's just a brilliant guy. So see James Spader, Blacklist. And Brian Stokes Mitchell too.
Yeah, okay. See, people have so many questions, but we have to talk about all the other stuff that you can see Stokes on.
Please.
If you just want to be streaming your life away, you can see The Path.
Streaming your life away.
I was hoping he was going to sing.
It sounds like some kind of song. It should be if it's not.
You are on The Path.
And The Path, yes, that's
The Path
a Hulu
is about
original.
Hulu original. Created by Jessica Goldberg.
Yes.
Jessica Goldberg. There are a lot of theater people involved.
There are, yes.
And that's about...
It's a cult.
Cults.
It's about a cult, a particular cult.
A particular cult.
Yeah, it's about cults in general, but really it's a show about faith more than anything, because they're not trying to take apart cults. When the show started, for the first episode and a half, you didn't realize you were looking at a cult from the point of view of the cult on the inside.
Right.
And it's a really interesting show on human beings and how they how they see faith and religion, and
It looks amazing.
it's pretty good, great cast.
And then if you want to go to
writers.
sort of the other end of the spectrum,
Yes.
you can watch Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot, yes. Mr. Robot's a little bit dark, but I love those kind of characters. I play a lot of dark characters, even on the stage, and I love
Many
those.
of them
Those are the
dress
best.
well, I will say.
They do. That's very important. If you're going to be a bad guy, James Bond. Well, he was a good guy, but everybody, all the bad guys dress well on his shows.
That's right. You want to be a dapper bad guy if
Absolutely.
you're going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever seen a bad? Well,
You don't want a sloppy bad guy.
No, they don't do so well.
Alec is asking, what is your Broadway dream role?
My Broadway dream role. I've been so fortunate. I've gotten to play the roles that I really, really love to do. And I think what I'd really love to do on Broadway, the one role that keeps sticking in my head is Sweeney Todd. Is doing that with a full orchestra,
Oh, yes.
like it was done in the old days, and doing it maybe like at someplace like Lincoln Center, because they're one of the few places that can
Have a
actually
big orchestra.
do that kind of thing right now. But I think that's the one role that I would jump at if somebody said, "You want to do Sweeney Todd on Broadway with a full orchestra?"
Are
Yes.
you listening, Lincoln Center? Are you listening? Now, I'm going to ask you, if you were to play Sweeney Todd, would you want your Mrs. Lovett to be Audra McDonald or Marion Maisie?
I don't know. Either one of them would be great. I actually got to play Sweeney Todd a little bit for a Sondheim Festival. This was about 10 years ago, maybe, in Washington, D.C., where they did about 8 shows of his in repertory, and Sweeney Todd was the first one out. But I only did 14 performances of it, so that's hardly even previews.
It doesn't count.
No,
I mean,
it
it
doesn't
counts
count.
for the people that saw that show.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like a taste of the role, and I realize there's so much depth to delve into.
Are you
with
going to
that
go
character.
see it downtown?
Yeah, I hear
Started
Norm's doing it,
yeah,
right?
Norm's doing it in April.
Yeah. I just love that show. It's it probably is my favorite Sondheim
Sondheim.
show. I just think it's a masterwork of his.
Absolutely.
And he has a lot of masterworks.
Billy is asking, how did you get involved with Ragtime?
Ragtime, I was doing Kiss of the Spider Woman, which was a show that was produced by Garth Drabinsky of Livent at the time. And about 6 months into the show, Garth came up to me and said, "I got a show for you, I got a role." I said, "What is it?" He said, "I can't tell you." And so he would come back to me every few months. He said, "I got a show, still got that show, got that role." I said, "Well, what is it, Garth?" He said, "I still can't tell you." So finally, about 3 months later, he said, "All right, I can tell you. The show is Ragtime, the role is Cole House Walker." And that's when I first found out about it. And I had the same reaction that I always do, usually when I get offered a role for something.
Yes.
I'm totally wrong for that role. I don't think there's ever a role that I've done.
Now we think of you as the definitive Cole House.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
nice.
hilarious that you
Yeah,
would say that.
I always think that, so.
Totally wrong
so
for that.
Anybody that's out there that feels like they're, insecure about things, just know that doesn't go away.
Did you have fun at Ellis Island when they did the concert?
I had a blast. It was a great cast. It was great just kind of revisiting that. Peter Friedman, who was the original Tato, was there. Lynn Ahrens was there as well. We're actually discussing doing a 20th anniversary show right now. This is secret information nobody's heard yet, with the Actors Fund and bringing the original cast back together.
Of course, you are the
we're-
president of the Actors
I
Fund.
am the chairman of the board,
Chairman
actually.
of the board.
The wonderful Joe Benincasa.
Oh,
is
Joe
actually,
Benincasa
he
is
has
the
the total, the
Chairman of the
title.
board.
Mhm.
I'm going to take it back. You're not the James Bond of Broadway. You're the chairman of the board. That's how I'm going to
Okay.
think of you. That's how I'm going to think of you.
Right.
It's such a wonderful organization.
It is.
And you've been involved with it for a long time now, haven't you?
I have been chairman of the board for 13 years. I think I'm in my 13th year, and I was on the board for about 4 years before that as well. And when they originally asked me to be the chairman of the board, I said, "How long is this for?" They said 3 years. I said, "I can't do it 3 years. I'm about to have a kid, and I've got shows going on, and I want to make sure that I'm going to be useful to you." And so here I am 13 years later.
And you have time to do all these TV shows, and you have a new CD coming out.
CD
There's
I'm
so much
working
going on,
right
and
now.
you managed to be the chairman of the board on top of all of
yeah,
that.
you try to do all those things.
You can't wiggle out of it.
No, exactly. The CD I'm working on is called Plays with Music. It's a show that I started at the Carlisle last year, and I'm going to be doing it again at 54 Below in June 13th, I think, for about a week, over 2 weeks.
That's fun.
And that's when I'm shooting for the release of this particular album as well. But the TV shows keep kind of getting in the way. I'm not complaining, but they keep moving the dates around. So that's what I'm shooting for is the June release.
Maddie has an interesting question. She asks,
Maddie, what you want to know?
What's the most beautiful theater you've ever performed in?
Wow, there are so many gorgeous theaters in New York City. That's a really hard one to say. Outside of New York City, there's a lot of the Fox theaters. There are like 5 of those all across the country, I think, that are left. And they're probably the most ornate theaters built. They were built around the 20s, all of them, and each one has a different theme, and they're really, really incredible. So I would have to say probably one of the Fox theaters would be one of the prettiest theaters that I've played. On Broadway, it's kind of hard.
They're also different.
Yeah, they're like people. Each theater has a different personality, and I'm very partial to the Martin Beck Theater, or now it's called the Hirschfeld, or like I call it, the Beckfeld.
The Beckfeld.
Yes, I like that. I've done 2 shows there, and that has just a nice vibe. And I always think, if I were a theater, I would be the Beckfeld. Yeah, that feels like me. It's got this great vibe about it, and I just love that theater.
Josh is asking, he's got a lot of questions, but he's asking which of your hi Josh Groban, which of your Broadway roles challenged you most?
The one that challenged me most was King Hedley II, which was August Wilson, the play that I did, and it challenged me most because it's the only time I've ever had an anxiety attack in my entire life. Because here's why. I'll tell you
like every night or just before?
Before the very, very first performance. Okay. The reason is because when I got the call, I was doing Kiss Me Kate, and I was exhausted. I really, really needed a vacation. My agent called. He said, I have good news and bad news. I said, what's the good news? He said, the good news is you've been offered the lead role in the next August Wilson play. I said, oh, you got to be kidding. I've always wanted to do an August Wilson play and to be doing the lead role. And I said, what's the bad news? He said, well, there's 2 pieces of bad news. And I said, oh, really? He said, the first piece is that you're not going to get a vacation. And the second piece is you're only going to have 9 days to rehearse it. So I ended up rehearsing the show in 9 days because of the availability of the theater. As soon as I finished Kiss Me Kate, there were 9 days, and then we were in the Eisenhower Theater. And there were massive amounts of monologues for me. The end of the first act is basically a 10 or 12 page monologue with a few little interjections from other people. But that's the only time I ever had like an anxiety attack, was right before that first performance. I'd tell you the whole long story, but it's too long. But
so is that your only play on Broadway?
Yes, that is my only play on Broadway.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
It was a great experience. It turned out to be, but wow, that show almost killed me. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Josh is also asking, on the path, you and Adrienne Lennox are a power couple of the West Coast cult. What show would you want to do with her?
Wow.
You're a power couple of the theater if you want to be.
Yeah, Adrienne. I love Adrienne so much. What show would I want? I would do anything with Adrienne. She's got the most amazing voice. She's a wonderful actress. She's just a great human being. We have a whole lot of fun doing it together. And she's very instinctual, too, when she performs. There's different kinds of actors. You should just ask her
if she wants to do Sweeney Todd.
I should. Ooh, that would be great. She'd be a really interesting Mrs. Lovett. Wow, that's a great idea.
Since that's your Broadway dream role.
Yeah.
Everybody's so nervous to ask you questions because you're a legend.
Why are they nervous?
They're
nervous.
Alec is asking, do you like doing plays or musicals better?
I like them both for different reasons. People ask me that question, and which do you like doing more, theater or television? It's the same kind of experience. Different experience. And I like both of them, actually, very much, and all 3 of them, because just having the opportunity to do them flexes different kinds of muscles. On a play, of course, you don't have a song to fall back on, so you can't suck with your acting. So, but I love them both. I think I maybe love musicals more just because I get to sing, and I really love to sing a lot. So, but if somebody offered me another play, I wouldn't not do it.
We need you to sing on Broadway. It's very important to Broadway audiences that you sing on Broadway.
Boy, that's sweet.
So I'm going to put in my vote.
Okay.
Which of the directors you've worked with has pushed you the most?
Pushed me the most. Wow.
Challenged you.
I think maybe all of them have in one way or another. But Jack O'Brien, I did Shakespeare in the Park a few years ago. I was doing Much Ado About Nothing. It was my first time to actually perform Shakespeare. for a paying audience, to do it as Shakespeare in the Park. That was another thing that I should have had an anxiety attack, but I didn't because Jack pushed me and stretched me, and we were so well prepared, I think, and it was a really wonderful cast. But I love the way Jack works. George Wolfe, too, amazing director, and doing Shuffle Along. I don't know that I've ever laughed so much or had a more joyous rehearsal process than I did with George. He really is
incredible. It must have been so much fun for you to be back with Audra. It was.
Audra, and I mean everybody. I knew half that company and the designers and everybody. Yeah. It was really a great experience.
Have you met the baby?
I have not yet, no. Only in pictures. So I look forward to it. And Laura Benante's baby, too. I'm so happy.
All the Broadway babies out there.
I know.
Stephen's asking, were there any funny onstage mishaps in Shuffle Along?
In Shuffle Along, no. Not that I don't. We didn't run long enough to have fun onstage mishaps.
That's upsetting.
No, not in Shuffle Along. I don't remember any. Shuffle Along was kind of a difficult show because the pace of the show was so fast that you couldn't think about anything other than the show. So I think because it demanded your total presence 100% of the time as an actor, nothing really happened. I think those kind of mishaps start happening when people start getting a little bit more relaxed,
comfortable.
And you probably shouldn't be that relaxed. But no, I think it's because we were all still exploring the role and trying to find the gold in the parts. There was still so much more to explore by the time the show ended.
So what was the cast reaction when Shuffle Along announced it was closing?
Hey, shock. That's what always happens.
We were shocked.
Yeah.
We were shocked.
Yeah, we didn't know. We thought the show would run for some time, and because it was running very successfully, the audiences were fantastic. It was an incredible show. The direction.
I wish I could have seen it like 3 more times.
Oh
at
man,
least.
Save Glover, his choreography, George's direction, the designers, that ensemble, everybody in that show was just.
It was really magical.
At the top of their game, and it was a really fun cast to be with. We still have reunions because we miss each other so much.
Shuffle reunions.
Yeah, we do. The cast was so close. So
that's really amazing. I'm going to let you go, but I have a couple more questions from our fans here.
Yeah.
Lauren is asking, have you ever considered going to London or doing a show in the West End?
I would love to go to London, absolutely. I almost did Kiss Me Kate. That was really the show that I wanted to do in London because it's kind of got that flavor of a British show a little bit, and it was Michael Blakemore, a British director. He's from Australia actually, but well known over there as well. And that was the show that I wanted to do, but I was doing King Hedley at the time,
you were
so
busy.
I wasn't able to do that. I was busy having anxiety attacks.
And Sharon asks, do you have any rituals before you perform a show?
Yeah, I just kind of quiet myself, really, is what I generally do. Even when I'm doing concerts, that's what I do. I just kind of close my eyes and take it in. And basically, I kind of say a little meditation, basically for myself to get out of the way and just for whatever wants to come through me and talk to the audience and use my voice and, use me for the moment. That's kind of what my ritual is. But I have all kinds of warm-up rituals and other things too.
You mean like physical and vocal and those things?
But there are no superstitious rituals or anything like that. But that is the very final thing I generally do before I do
centering
performance.
Exercise.
Yeah, it gets me centered.
You guys, I could talk to Stokes all day long. He's so fascinating. He's the chairman. Watch him on The Blacklist. Watch him on The Path. Watch him on Mr. Robot. Look for his CD. Plays with music.
Plays with music.
He also has another one called Simply Broadway, which is simply fantastic.
Thank you.
You can see him at 54 Below. Have I forgotten anything?
I'm just all over the place. I got a website. I'm on Facebook. People can look me up and or go to brianstokes.com and is my website. And or just Google alert.
He's around.
That's probably the best way to do it. Yeah, that's what I do actually. Oh, I'm doing that. I got to get ready. I got to pack. Yeah, exactly.
That's hilarious. All right, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya. Thanks for having me.